Hi artists, it's Miss Lanehart, your art teacher. Welcome to a new project called Cut Paper Stories. In this project, we're going to see how we can cut simple, abstract shapes of paper and use them to tell a story, and how we can think like an artist and we can change the shape, the color, the size, or the space of those little pieces of paper and really change the meaning of our story. To see what we mean by that, let's back up a little bit. Let's watch that little trailer at the beginning of this video again. See what was really going on there.
Here's a simple shape, a triangle. Let's imagine that this is the setting for a story. The triangle could symbolize a tree, or change the space of the triangle on the page and it could become a deep crack in a cliff or a glacier. Don't fall in. Change the space again and it could be a mountain. Shapes can also be characters in a story. This rectangle could symbolize a person. Add another one and it looks like there are two people in the story. Keep them far apart on the page and it looks like they either are hiding or they haven't met each other yet. Put them close together and it looks like they're friends. Change the size of one of those rectangles and it doesn't look like they're friends anymore. It looks like they're, what do you think? Maybe a parent and a child. That big triangle has changed in space again. Let's see if we can change the space of the characters too and tell a new story. Looks like they walked up a ramp and they're safe at the top. Whoa, not so safe now. Sliding down, it just changed into a slide. One character alone. Moving the triangle makes it become a scary animal. Add a new shape and color and it's really scary. Run away! Change the shapes to more soft and rounded shapes, and it's not scary anymore. That triangle becomes a little tree, and that little scrap of paper, just by putting it in the space of the sky, looks like a bird. Change the color of the background from golden yellow to dark blue, and our story goes from day to night. So you see, artists, we can cut papers into simple shapes to symbolize settings and characters in a story. And we can change the color, shape, size, and space to change the story.
Playing with those pieces helped my mind come up with a story of two characters, a mom and a kid, who play in a park all day long. They find a slide, they play in the woods, they see an animal that they think is really dangerous, but then remember, it changes shape and turns into a friendly dog. This is the part that I feel is the most exciting picture in the story, so this is the part I choose to glue down. I'm going to use my glue stick and just put glue on each of the pieces and glue them in place. Today, you'll end up with a glued together picture. But let's take a look at the materials you have, and you're going to come up with your own picture different from this one. Now it's time for us to start playing around with this idea together. The things you'll need for today's lesson are a pair of scissors and a glue stick. And from your art kit bag, you'll just need several things. You'll need the white envelope, and you'll need the three largest papers. They're these three colors: blue, dark blue, light blue, and yellow. You'll notice there are other things in your art kit bag. There's more papers, but we're going to use those for the next lesson video. So please set those aside in a safe place for now. If you need a moment to get these materials ready, you can pause the video.
These materials are a starter set for you to make a story today. I'm going to give you a few ideas, but it's really all about you being creative, changing color, shape, size, and space to make up your own story today.
Let's take the contents of your envelope out. Start with a big white shape. What could this big shape be? Could be a building, or a table, or we could change the shape
round out the corners, make kind of curvy lines, make more of an organic shape. Now let's imagine what this could be. Maybe a snow mound or a giant marshmallow. Now let's take the 2 strips out of your envelope and let's use these to create characters. Start by cutting the larger one so that you have a rectangle. Maybe it's about the length of your thumb. And then from that same strip, cut a shape that you would call a square, more of a square, and round out the corners of that square. Kind of like cutting your fingernails. And you'll end up with a circle that could be the head. Do the same with the other strip. Make sure if you want to change the size of this character to be smaller than the first one, you might want to set it right alongside it and make sure that you're cutting it a different size. Again, then cut a square of the same strip and round the corners. So if you make rectangles and squares out of those strips, it's a really simple way to make an abstract character with just shapes. Now let's play around a little bit with the space. Even making a very small change in the space really changes the story. Look how this little character is just looking straight ahead, but if you change the space a little bit by just tipping their head back, it looks like they're looking up at the figure on top of the snow and talking to them. Play around in making color changes in that background color. Maybe it'll change the time of day and even change your story a little bit. Now it's time to really bring your cut paper story together. As you're playing around, you can change the shapes that you already have, if you want, in some way. You can use the other papers that came in that small envelope. Maybe you want to make more characters. Maybe you want to add to the setting. If you're doing a snow story, this white paper could perhaps be cut into more pieces for your snow. And then there's that little brightly colored paper. That could be really fun details you could add to your character in some way, or it could be an object as part of your setting. Maybe it really gives clues as to what's happening in the story. When you've come up with your final favorite story, glue your pieces down.
Now, of course, it would be great once you've glued your pieces down to show somebody your picture and tell them the story of your artwork. Gunash artists, for working with me today and making cut paper stories. And good job thinking like an artist and using color, shape, size, and space to change the meaning of your story. Let's think about this like a little interview, that I'm interviewing you, the artist. Here's my questions.
Tell us about one time when you changed either color, shape, size, or space, and tell us how it changed the story. Tell us about the moment in your story that your picture shows. What do you think will happen next in the story? You could either write your answers to these questions down or make a video of yourself with your story answering the questions.
For part 2 of this project, you'll need the papers that are still in your art kit bag, and you'll also need the 2 background papers that you didn't use today. Also, any leftover scraps from today's project might be really useful next time too. So scoop those up and put them in your art kit bag along with your glue stick and your scissors. And keep this in a safe place so that you have it to use when you watch the video for lesson number 2. I'll see you next time.